Solo Leveling episode 5 has dropped, and my oh my is it insane. If you haven't seen the episode and don't want to be spoiled, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, but let's get into the episode. The episode began right where the last episode left off, with Hunter Cha essentially finding Sun Jin-woo in front of the boss dungeon. She was befuddled because she thought all hunters quote-unquote stink, but Sun Jin-woo was different. This dude is built different. He didn't have that stench that she had associated with all the other hunters, and she naturally thought it's because his rank was so low on paper because he's still an E rank. That's why he doesn't have that stink, which made Sun Jin-woo think, is it because he's built different, or more specifically, is it because he's a player like the monster in the dungeon mentioned, the ice monster, that he has a different vibe to him than other hunters. That began her curiosity, Hunter Cha's curiosity about Sun Jin-woo. She began to inquire about him, and when she went home, she attempted to look into the backstory of Sun Jin-woo, only for her to get denied the clearance because Sun Jin-woo's file and information was now highly classified. On the other hand, Sun Jin-woo was making his name in these dungeons, and the mining team see him as essentially the savior. He is the LeBron of mining. Everybody wants him. Like, they were willing to offer him 5 times the pay of the regular miners for him because this dude is different. He's special. He's the next big thing to hit the leagues. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. After their miner operation, Sun Jin-woo and his team of miners essentially got a request from an A-rank team who were trying to enter an A-rank dungeon, and they needed somebody to hold their bags, essentially, a bag boy. And Sun Jin-woo volunteered to this operation. Even though it was an A-rank mission, it seemed like they had it undercover because their team was fully stacked. They had about 5 A-rankers, 3 B-rankers, and it seemed solid. Like, they seemed like they had a solid bearings on what was going on in the dungeon, only for them to be surprised by what happened in the dungeon. The moment they walked in, they encountered a number of C-rank beasts, which made them ponder what's happening, what's going on. But as they suspected, it was not a regular dungeon, as it was filled with high orcs, who generally even a regular A-rank will find a tough time trying to defeat one of them, let alone a whole group of these monsters. And the fight went exactly as you would expect. It was a high diff fight for essentially all of them. They seemed like they were about to die. Before Sun Jin-woo started dropping covert assists, he was essentially Kuroko. He was dropping a lot of assists. And they noticed something was off, but they didn't want to ask too many questions and decided to wrap up that dungeon quest because it seemed like it was not the same. Like, it was very different. And that's when Sun Jin-woo began to think it gave him the same vibe as the first dungeon that he went to, the double dungeon. It was essentially same, but different.
Same, but different. But still same.
When they tried to leave the dungeon was essentially the same thing as what happened in the double dungeon or what happened in the red dungeon. It did not allow them to leave. It was locked. And that's when they got hit up by the boss of the dungeon, essentially telling them that he wants to see them. So in order to avoid death, they decided to all go to him. But the plan was, once they see the dungeon boss, they were going to attack him, and Sun Jin-woo was supposed to run away. That's what the boss, or rather the captain of this raid, decided. And they all gave essentially their wills to Sun Jin-woo, with Sun Jin-woo assuring them, even though he was an E rank, from their eyes, he was assuring them hopefully it wouldn't get to as bad as they think it would get to. But yeah, the episode essentially ended when we entered the lair of the boss of the dungeon, and my oh my, it was imposing. I think it's gonna be insane. The pacing of the episode honestly was pretty solid. Like, you didn't feel rushed, but at the same time it was not slow. The plot progressed significantly, and the next episode essentially looks like it's gonna be a fight episode. And I personally can't wait to see it because I saw what they did with the last fight episode. The animation was insane. Yeah, this was pretty solid episode. The OST was also pretty solid. I think all around it was a solid episode, 8.5. But yeah, let us know what you think about this episode. If you have any comments or what you think, theories that you have of the episode, Hunter Cha, oh lord, let's see where that goes. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thumbs out.